At this point, really, in particle physics, we're stuck.
Welcome, curious minds. Today I will talk about the particle physics is stuck and why might be that, and how my theory can help to further understand the situation. But also today we are on a crossroad, because it seems like the globalist and anti-globalist in a dispute. So we will see it will end sometimes in the future. In the Earth, always the integration won. So that's why we can be here. We are a collective intelligence from a cellular perspective. So without that we couldn't be here. So the globalist perspective will won in this case. And also I would like to mention Fukuyama when he mentioned about the history ended. He also was right in a sense. It's ended for this period, but it's ended, but it will start a new history. That's happened multiple times in the past, and it will happen in the future as well. So if you think about the Industrial Revolution, it's getting over now, and we will start the digital revolution, and it will speed up more. It started already, but now we use the technology even better. And before the Industrial Revolution, that was a scientific revolution around 400-500 years ago, and before that we can talk about religious revolution and so on, and we can go about this on and on until we reach the human history starting point, which is around 8 million years ago. So I would like to show you a video about particle physics is stuck from an expert, and then we will discuss further. Let's watch the video.
Hello everyone, my name is Pauline Gagnon. I'm a particle physicist, now retired from working at CERN, and that's where we discovered, in 2012, we discovered the Higgs boson, which was the last missing piece in the Standard Model. The Standard Model is this theoretical framework that we have now to explain what matter is made of. And it's very successful, and it has answered thousands of questions. But the problem is that now we know that there are questions that are not addressed by the Standard Model, and we need to find something else. The big question is, what is it? So at this point, we're absolutely stuck for two reasons. Theorists have tons of ideas, but we cannot sort out which one is good until we find new particles that would put us on the right track. But the problem is that experimental physicists like myself, we haven't found anything in the last 10 years. So we're really at a difficult point right now, because we know that we need to find something else, because what we have is incomplete and flawed. So the Standard Model, for example, cannot explain what happened to antimatter. We know that at the time of the Big Bang, there was just as much antimatter as matter that were created, but today it has disappeared from the universe. We also know that everything that we have found so far related to the Standard Model, all the particles that we know, they only describe 5% of the content of the universe. So it's like, we know that there should be something else. There is 27% more matter in the universe in the form of dark matter. We know it's there. We have several proof of it. It doesn't emit light, but it reacts to gravitational force. So we know we can feel its presence through gravitational lensing or by looking at how fast galaxies formed and all that. But we're at a very stuck place right now because we have no new particle and tons of new theories, but no one knows which one is right. So it's until we find either an anomaly in the standard model, although so far everything has checked out, or new particles, we absolutely don't know where we're heading.
Particle physics is governed by standard model, and I just highlighted here, it was ended in the 70s, basically 50 years ago, the theoretical work, and at 2012 with the Higgs boson, it's actually was the latest piece in the puzzle for the standard model, and it seems like most of the predictions is holds, but we also know, as she stated, there are some issues, and that also can be known or showed. So basically what I just described before, the main issue as well here is to stuck in one theoretical framework. So seems like this framework is good and helped our understanding, but it's limited in the sense you cannot really think what happened before that and what happened after. So my theory entails it should be something before that and it will something after it. And in a sense, I would argue the standard model should work in every cycle in this sense, because when we think about it, some another entity in the future tries to understand the bird, they would come up really similar conclusions. And what this shows is if we think about this way, you could say the standard model holds in our time frame, but if we think about in the long-term future, it will also hold in that regard. So in a way it's always true, but if we think about it as a jumps, we can show there is a standard model in for human space and standard model for the future space, and the standard model is as far as I see, it's a hyperbolic model. So that means at the infinity and zero states there are some questions and they cannot really talk about that. That's why there is so much questions about the Big Bang and what was before that. So today I wanted to just highlight this for you. I wish you enjoyed and have a great day.